Okay, so a really interesting topic that was brought to me recently was the question of who is going to be the next New England Patriots. And what I mean by that is who is going to be the next dominant team in the NFL. It's hard to remember who was really the very dominant team before the Patriots, but by the next New England Patriots, I guess what I'm trying to say is the team that every year for the next decade, it feels like they're going to be somewhere in the playoff race, either at the beginning or at the end. But either way, you know they're going to be there in January. Now, the question is which team is going to be that? And what this video is focusing on is if the Chiefs are going to be that, because 2 years in a row here, they've made it to the AFC Championship, 12-4 records, MVP worthy years by Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had an amazing year this year with 4,000 yards, and he missed 2 games, could have had around 4,500 yards with how he normally plays. But just in general, the Chiefs have been insane over the past 2 years. I mean, it's primarily their offense has been insane, and it's really interesting to think about because you look at a team like the Patriots, and they haven't really been full of playmakers like Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill at once, and Patrick Mahomes at once. When we talk about the Patriots, you look in the past, every once in a while you see a boom, like Randy Moss for a little while, Gronk for 9 years, Wes Welker for a while, Deion Branch for a while. But you rarely see it. In that 16-0 season, I think, was really one of the only times we saw it where there were multiple superstars on the Patriots at once. And the main reason for that, I mean, excluding Tom Brady, of course, but the main reason for that is cap. And we talk about it all the time how there's not going to be another New England Patriots because of the cap situations in the NFL. The money players are asking for right now is just insane, especially star quarterbacks. Now, I believe that if Patrick Mahomes takes a hometown discount, he could definitely this team could definitely stay consistently great for the next decade, because that would allow them room to sign other guys that have a lot of skill. But in the end, it's a big what if. Because if the Chiefs are ready to pay Patrick Mahomes $30 million a year, 30 to 35 million, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is very arguably the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Just this season, it feels like this past couple of games especially, he's really tapped into his ability to scramble. I mean, he's a big guy, and he's kind of realizing that he has some legs to work with. And the more he gets with that, I mean, we already know how special his arm is and his ability to throw accurate passes is. So I think really it's Patrick Mahomes, in my eyes, is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. In terms of skill, he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Lamar Jackson is a close second, but Lamar Jackson cannot throw it as well as Patrick Mahomes, and you can't make the argument that he can. I mean, Lamar Jackson is a great dual threat quarterback, but I believe Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback. And because of that, I truly believe that a team can find more sustained success in Patrick Mahomes than they ever could in Lamar Jackson. I believe Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes are going to be neck and neck for a long, long time. But I don't know. I got to take Patrick Mahomes over Lamar Jackson just because of not only Patrick Mahomes' ability to throw the ball as well as he does, but his ability to make plays beyond just himself. And what I mean by that is Lamar Jackson is very good at making plays by himself as a singular player. And Patrick Mahomes, he is very, very good. And credit to his playmakers. I mean, I'm sure if he had the same receiving core as the Philadelphia Eagles, he would not have been as successful. or nearly as successful as now he has Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. I mean, obviously he's going to be less successful, but you can't convince me that Lamar Jackson is a better playmaker with a team. I know that's hard to understand, but yeah, I'd take Patrick Mahomes. So they got their quarterback there. Now it's the question of how much money is it going to cost to keep Patrick Mahomes? Is it going to cost $30 million a year, or is it going to cost around 20? That's really the big question. Because a guy like Dak Prescott, who was at one point looking for $30 million a year, I mean, if Dak Prescott's getting paid $30 million, who knows what Patrick Mahomes could request? And if he does request a lot of money, and if the Chiefs want to keep him, which I assure you they will, they're not going to be able to keep paying guys like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Sammy Watkins all at the same time. And as you start losing weapons on that offense, it becomes harder for Patrick Mahomes to make plays. A big thing about his ability to scramble around in the backfield and make a play downfield is that he has these really skilled wide receivers where you can double cover him. But even if you double cover them, if you give them 4 or 5 seconds to get open, they will. That initial cut might not work against that double coverage, but you give them a few more cuts to look for open space in the field, you'll find them open. And that's why a lot of the Chiefs' biggest plays come from when Patrick Mahomes has around 3 to 5 seconds rather than just 3 seconds. He's scrambling around, he's looking, he's waiting, he's giving his receivers time to find space, and then he hits a man downfield for 25 yards. And when you have lesser skilled receivers out there, that becomes a lot harder to do. Not only that, but the thing is, if you have less skilled receivers out there, then you're talking about Patrick Mahomes having to do that every single play. Every single play. Because we know the Chiefs do not have a super strong run game. I mean, overall, yes, they had 1,569 rushing yards this year, but they didn't have a running back who played all 16 games. And their leading rusher was Damian Williams, who only had 498 yards. LaShawn McCoy had 465. Patrick Mahomes was their third best rusher. So my point is, they don't have a super solid run game. They obviously depend on the passing game. They don't really depend on play action. They depend on the pass game and Patrick Mahomes' ability to make plays with his weapons. And as you take away weapons, well, it's kind of a back and forth battle where as you take away weapons, it's going to get harder for Patrick Mahomes to make those plays. I mean, Tyreek Hill should have had a 1,000-yard year. He missed 4 games. I believe if you played 16 games, you'd be looking at 2,000-yard receivers. Sammy Watkins missed 2 games, 2.5 really. But yeah, the thing is, it's just, the Chiefs, I guess my conclusion here with what my answer is to the original question is, I believe they can be successful, but I don't believe they're going to be consistently successful. I believe there will be a year, somewhat like the Saints and Drew Brees, there will be a year where the Chiefs go 9-7, they miss the playoffs, or they go 10-6 and they get knocked out in the wild card, and that will be a year when they don't have top talent. Or they might even have a losing season or an even season, 8-8. And then they'll get more talent on the offense and they'll start working again. But as long as Patrick Mahomes wants all this money, which I'm sure he will, I mean, it's 50-50. If Patrick Mahomes wants to have this success for the rest of his career, he needs to take less money. Now, if he wants more money, he's going to have to give up a little bit of success because without Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Sammy Watkins running the routes, it becomes a little harder to find an open receiver, no matter how good you are at throwing the ball. There's 2 guys you have to double cover, otherwise one of them is going to be open, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. If you don't double cover both of those people, one of them is bound to be open within that 5 seconds. And normally you'd think maybe 3 seconds for a quarterback, a pocket passer at most. But with Patrick Mahomes' ability to make plays in the backfield, you're looking at 5 seconds max. 2 to 5 seconds, I'd say, on average for Patrick Mahomes back there. I'm sure there's a statistic out there. But if I had to guess, I'd say the range is from 2 to 5 seconds. More closer to 2, but you get a few near 5. And like I said, with the cap, there's just no way they can retain this level of receiving talent. And honestly, I want to see how Patrick Mahomes does with one superstar and a bunch of average receivers. I want to see that. I want to see if he can find at least near the success he has. Because, I mean, Tom Brady with those weapons, he would go crazy. He would go crazy. Drew Brees with those weapons would go crazy. Peyton Manning with those weapons would go crazy. I mean, of course, I'm naming these greats, but the point is, I need to see Patrick Mahomes have at least near this level of success with a bunch of average receivers and maybe one superstar, like one Travis Kelce or just Tyreek Hill, in order for me to believe that they can consistently make the playoffs for the next decade or two. Because Patrick Mahomes is your guy. He is the quarterback for the future. But the question is, how much money are you going to have to put things around him? And at what point will the front office completely give up on defense? Because they can't give up on defense is another thing. You have to pay for guys like Tyrann Mathieu. You have to pay for guys on defense like Frank Clark. You have to pay for those guys. They're not free. A lot of your cap has to go to the defense, because otherwise, if you're giving up 40 points a game, well, then you're forcing Patrick Mahomes to put up 40 points a game, which I'm sure he can. But there's going to be a couple games where he just can't do that, where the other defense is going to be good. We've seen that. Patrick Mahomes has been held to less than 24 on a couple occasions this year. So, for your answer, no. I do not believe they can be as successful as the Patriots. I could be wrong. If Patrick Mahomes is just as successful, and if Andy Reid is just as good as an offensive coach without those weapons, because they're not going to retain him for 10 years, I can guarantee you that. No matter how badly they might like that, I'm telling you, if you have the choice between, I mean, if they get a couple Super Bowls under their belt, if those weapons and those players have a choice between making an extra $15 million a year and winning a third or a fourth Super Bowl, they're going to pick another $15 million a year for the sake of their future, their children's future. That's just a family decision that a lot of players are going to make. Now, Tom Brady is held in for this long because his wife, Giselle, is a supermodel making more than he does. So it's a little easier for Tom to do that. Now, even recently, he's decided, look, I want to make money. So, I mean, even in that, it's a lot of people look towards Brady and say, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes, he should just take the money Brady has. Well, Patrick Mahomes should marry a supermodel who makes more than he does then. But no, the Chiefs will not, I don't believe they will have the same level of success that the Patriots have. I just don't. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. And I don't want to be the guy who isn't strong on any opinion. I do truthfully believe that is what's going to happen. They're going to have a few stretches, 2 years, 1 year, where they aren't very successful. Of course, they're always going to be there, but there's going to be a year or two here and there where they don't make the playoffs. But that's my conclusion. They will find a lot of success, but they will not be near the Patriots. I don't believe they'll win 6 Super Bowls. And I do not believe they are going to make the playoffs every year for the next 10 years. Or the next 9. I do not believe in that. So, thank you for watching. Comment what else you want to see me talk about. I'm going to drop a video soon about who I do believe has the potential to be the next New England Patriots, and a lot of that comes with coaching. A big, big, big part of that comes with coaching. So really the big question is, what team head coach has the potential to be the next New England Patriots? And an interesting point there, we keep looking at who's going to be the next New England Patriots. Well, the New England Patriots could be this decade's New England Patriots. I mean, as long as Bill Belichick doesn't leave, and I'll show you the data there, I'll show you the stats, I'll show you the why. But as long as Bill Belichick doesn't leave, they could sustain just as good a success far into the future, the next 10 years, or as long as Belichick decides to stay. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. This has been Your Patriots.